When the beat drops, you know exactly what time it is. Hello and welcome into another episode of The Blitz. David Shealy is making his season debut next week, but for now, he's still home with the baby. We have a great show for you, talking about Todd Bowles versus Kyle Shanahan. Baker talking that talk and walking that walk, plus my parlay of the week. So let's get started. This is the 10 and 10, the 10 most important storylines you need to know before the Bucs host the San Francisco 49ers. At number 10, we have a battle between two 4-1 teams. Tampa Bay is coming off a shootout win in Seattle. Meanwhile, the Niners had some extra rest after an overtime victory against the Rams on Thursday Night Football. The Buccaneers are looking to start 5-1 for the 6th time in franchise history. The last time they did that was in 2021. All those previous teams made the postseason, by the way. Meanwhile, this franchise hates playing the Niners. If you include the playoffs, the team is 7-21 against San Francisco. It's one of their worst winning percentages against any opponent in the league. The last win for this franchise against the Niners was back in 2018. It was a 27-9 victory. Both teams were not very good. Only 3 current Bucs were on the field that day: Vita Vea, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin Jr. Lavonte David was hurt for that contest. At number 9, Todd Bowles has yet to beat Kyle Shanahan. Dating back to 2019, Bowles' first year as defensive coordinator of the squad, the team is 0 for 4. The last 3 years have been particularly bad, bleeding north of 400 total yards in all 3 of those games. Even with all the injuries for San Francisco on the offensive side of the football, Shanahan has certainly had Bowles' number and comes to town with the number 1 passing offense in the league. At number 8, a big reason why the Niners are so good is because of Christian McCaffrey. This will be his 11th game against the Buccaneers, the most in his career for any opponent. He averages 1 touchdown per game against this team. McCaffrey is averaging 3.1 yards per carry, which is a staggering dip in production, but he does rank 3rd in the NFL for receptions and 6th in receiving yards. So let's bring in James Yarko for the Locked On Bucs burning question of the week. And James, it's obvious the offense still runs through Christian McCaffrey. What can Bowles do to limit his production?
Now, I don't think I'm too concerned about Christian McCaffrey in the run game this year. The 49ers have struggled in the run game. McCaffrey's getting just over 3 yards per carry. What worries me about him is his effectiveness in the passing game, especially when it comes on the road. He is much more effective in this offense on the road compared to at home so far this season. And the Buccaneers have given up a lot to running backs through the air. 100 yards to Bijan back in week 1, over 60 yards through the air to the Houston running backs. You had Saquon Barkley as the Eagles' 2nd leading receiver back in week 4. And on the road, Christian McCaffrey, over 27% of his touches have resulted in a first down so far this season. Lavonte is going to have to be at his best that we have seen so far in 2025 in this game. Servassier Dennis cannot allow McCaffrey to get behind him. The Bucs have to really hone in on where McCaffrey is and make sure that he is staying behind the sticks and not allowing him to get those cheap little first downs on little dump-offs that allows potential scoring drives to continue for the 49ers.
Thank you so much, James. At number 7, CMC might be seeing a lot of Lavonte David, as you mentioned. David is coming off an interception in Seattle that pretty much secured the win for Tampa Bay. There are only 3 players in the league right now with at least 30 tackles, 3 TFLs, and 1 interception, and the old man Lavonte is one of them. The Buccaneers veteran needs 2 more takeaways for 35 in his career. He already has 40 sacks. Only Brian Urlacher and Ray Lewis, a pair of Hall of Famers, can claim similar numbers in their careers dating back the past 40 years. At number 6, the Tampa Bay findaways aren't just about the Lightning anymore. This team has won its 4 games by a total of 9 points. Every game has been decided by 1 score. The Niners can relate, as they've been in the same situation for every contest. The only difference is they've won their 4 matchups by a total of 13 points. Smells like we could be in for another nail-biter. Baker Mayfield has no problems with that. He also has no problems barking back at fans in the stands. This was Baker before running out of the tunnel in Seattle. After jawing back and forth with these people, Baker made sure to send them home with a little something on his way out. Oh, hello, there's an L. At number 5, Baker Mayfield has that dog in him on top of another sterling fourth quarter performance. Mayfield is coming off one of the best games of his career, joining Peyton Manning and Kurt Warner as the only players ever to throw for north of 375 yards with fewer than 5 incompletions in a game. This man is certainly a part of those MVP conversations.
Whatever's being said is a testament to the offense and the group that we have. So it's always individual accolades and recognition. You never have it on your own. This is the greatest team sport for a reason. So always trying to remind myself that.
I mean, I think his play speaks for itself. Man plays every play like it's his last, and it feeds off to the team. And he puts us all in the right position. Just playing great football.
At number 4, Baker Mayfield has found a favorite target in Emeka Egbuka. He said after the game last week, he has never seen a rookie wide receiver come into the league and do the things that he is doing. I mean, we are 5 weeks in, and he ranks 2nd in touchdowns and 4th in receiving yards throughout the NFL. That is crazy. Egbuka is also proving to eviscerate opponents in zone coverage. According to Sumer Sports, the Niners run zone nearly 75% of the time. Well, 418 of Egbuka's 455 yards have been gobbled up against zone, including all but one tutty. On paper, this should be a juicy matchup for the potential Offensive Rookie of the Year. And here is the thing about the Buccaneers. What is going to happen when this offense gets back Luke Gedeke, Bucky Irving, Mike Evans, and Jalen McMillan? This reminds me of the 2020-2021 group where Tampa Bay simply has too many weapons for defenses to stop them. Of course, the Bucs still need some injury luck, but if that happens, this is unequivocally a Super Bowl caliber unit. At number 3, one way to prevent all these weapons from affecting the game is just by getting after Baker Mayfield. The only problem is with Nick Bosa injured for the season. The Niners are really struggling to generate pressures and sacks. They rank dead last in pressure rate and 24th with only 6 sacks. Tristan Wirfs has made a big difference on the offensive line, and you have to wonder how effective San Francisco will be at rattling Baker Mayfield. At number 2, a lot of those Niners are going to have to get through Payne Durham, who acts like another offensive lineman on the field. He's also quite the character off the field. I was able to speak with him in this week's edition of the One Buc. Payne, this is a big year for you guys. 4-1, you're getting more playing time out there. Also, it was revealed Todd Bowles' secret lover.
It's a big year.
I was going to say, what was that moment like for you when you caught wind of that press conference?
Yeah, interesting for sure would be. I didn't know he was going to reveal it. I thought we were going to keep it a secret a little while longer, but.
Me and Payne have a relationship not many people know about, and we're secret lovers.
Yeah, that was funny. I got a good laugh out of it.
A lot of people outside of the building don't really get to see that side of Todd Bowles. How often do you guys get to see that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he knows when to turn it on and off, and when he needs to be the strict head coach, he is, and people respect him and listen to him. But he also knows when to joke around, have a good time, and we all respect that because that's kind of what we're built on, is just having a good time.
Is there any dirt that you can give us on Cade Otton? Because we were talking before, I think universally in that building, number one human being, it might be Cade Otton.
Yeah, I love my brother-in-law, Zach, to death, but if there was one guy and I love Cade's wife, Sierra. I'm going to get in trouble for saying this. If one guy you want to marry your sister, or when you have a daughter, it's Cade Otton. I mean, he's the best human being. I wish I had more dirt. Sometimes he'll not cuss, but he'll say words that you want him to be cuss words.
And then finally, just what's it like playing with Baker?
No disrespect to the other 31 quarterbacks. I mean, I'm sure they're amazing people, amazing players, but there's no other quarterback that I would want to play for. And Coach Grizz said it best this offseason. He plays football like it's a UFC fight. If Baker told me to go run my head into a wall 100 times, I'm going to do it. That's like the type of.
He's going to use your helmet as a
100%. Yeah, it's so much fun. It's so much fun, and I, can't imagine playing for someone else that's not like that. But again, off the field, unbelievable human being, unbelievable husband, father, all that. But on the field, he's just a guy you want to be behind for sure.
At number 1, the Buccaneers are hitting the meat of their schedule between the Eagles, Seahawks, Niners, and Lions. You're talking about a combined record of 15-5. All these games potentially have monster implications at the end of the season when factoring in playoff seeding. You're seeing it right now on your screen. Currently, the Bucs are third in the NFC. The Niners are second. All right, time now for the all-out blitz. Let's hit up my parlay of the week. I am insanely consistent, going 2 for 3 all 5 weeks of the season. Let's see if I can finally break through with this one. Christian McCaffrey finding the end zone. Emeka Egbuka going north of 71.5 yards as a zone beater. Plus, Cade Otton is back, folks. He smashed it last week, and I like going to him again north of 30.5. You round that all up, and that's plus 475. As for what's cooking on 10 Tampa Bay, we have a doubleheader for you from the state of Florida. First, it's Miami hosting the LA Chargers. Then it's the game I've been talking about. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers hosting the San Francisco 49ers at 425. We got Jim and Tony in the booth for that, checking out our Blitz picks record. David and I both went against the Buccaneers, so I am 3-2 in the season. He is 2-3. Let's see where we're heading for this one. I think it's going to be another nail-biter, as I mentioned earlier. Both teams beat up, but San Francisco has had 10 days to sit on this contest. They're feeling all fat and sassy after that Thursday night football victory in L.A. Now they have to travel across the country against a team that is sick and tired of losing to these guys. Give me a Chase McLaughlin walk-off again. 28-27 Buccaneers, crazy enough. David picked the Buccaneers with a 28-26 victory. Hopefully great minds think alike there. Thank you so much for joining us on the Blitz this week. We will be talking primetime football again next week with the Bucs heading to Detroit. For David Shealy, home with the baby, I am Evan Closky. This is the Blitz. See you same time or same place next weekend.